Hey, what's up everybody? Brian here with the Holy Roller playing craps on a cruise to earn a free cruise. And today we're talking about how to become a better player at casino craps, whether you're on land or on a cruise. We're going to talk about what do you do with these bets right here. Here we go.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Now let's get rolling.
All right, what do I mean when I say what do we do with these bets right here? Now this is 64 across. Doesn't matter what the point is. We're not going to play pass line with odds. We're just going to play points, so including. So if the point was 8, you would say 64 across, including. So including the point. If you weren't, say if you were rolling and you had $10 on the pass line, then it would be, what's that, 52? You would say 52 across. You just wouldn't add the word including, okay? But one thing I want to talk about is what happens to these bets when they get hit. So if we roll and a 5 hits, now you need to know, now maybe you don't bet all of these, but whatever you do bet, when you bet, depending on where you're at the table, right when the dice roll, the dealers are going to start to pay out. Now you need to know what you want to do. Say the 5 rolls. What do you want to do? Do you want to leave the $10 there and just take your payout, which is $14? So they would pay you $14. And if you want the $14 and you want to leave that $10 there, you would say same bet. If you say same bet, they would just pay you, okay? And then you pick it up, put it in your rack. Now, they may say, because it is $14, they may say, give me $1. Give me $1. Now, the reason why they're asking for $1 is because 14 plus 1 is 15. So they would ask for $1, they would give you $15, and then they would take the 1, okay? But either way, whatever happens, you want to know, what do you want to do? What do you want to do when it hits? You want to think one step ahead. So right now, $10, $12, $12, and $10. Each one of these pays $14. So if you have a couple of ones in your hand and you know you're going to same bet, then if the 5 hits, you could just go like this and say same bet. They know that they'll pay you $15 because you put the $1 in. Now, if you don't have $1, they'll just pay you with the 14, and you'll get, one time you get paid, then you have $4 that you can throw in after that. And once they see that you have a lot of ones, that's when they'll probably start asking for, give me $1, throw me $1 or whatever. So that's on all of these. Now the 4 and 10 pay a little bit different. And so I guess we could say these pay 7 to 5. So for every $5, the 6 and 8 pay the same, the 5 and 9 pay the same, and the 4 and 10 pay the same because they have the same odds of rolling, okay? So the 5 and 9 will pay you $7 for every 5. So if you have 10, 7 times 2 is $14. Now these pay 7 for every $6. So that's why you have $6 times 2 is 12. And of course you have 7 times 2 is 14. Now on the 4 and 10, there's 2 different things that they pay. They pay on a place bet and what's called a buy bet. And so I'll show you kind of what that is right now. So a place bet is just like these, where it's just like that, and it pays 9 for every 5. So if you had 10, what is 9 times 2 is 18. So you would get paid $18. Now the question is, do you want the same bet or not? So again, because it's 18, maybe you throw in $2 when the 4 and 10 hits, you throw in 2 and you say same bet. And then they would pay you 2 for 20. They would pay you, or sorry, yeah, well, you throw in 2 and they give you 20. So that's what it's called, 1 for 15 or 2 for 20. Kind of, that's how, you know, 1 for 15, same bet, you know, that's kind of what you would say. All right, so what is the buy bet? Well, when you go to 14, a lot of 15, a lot of casinos are like this. It's a place bet at 15, but once you go to 20, then you have an opportunity to buy it, and it pays better. So a place bet would be like this. A buy bet would actually go inside, and they would put a buy button on it. Let's talk about the $20 if you had it here. The $20 is going to pay 9 for every 5, or 9 times 4, $36 if it's right here. Now, if you do a buy bet, it's going to cost you a VIG or a vigorish, which is a commission, but it's actually going to pay a little bit different, like 2 to 1. So $20 will pay $40. So there's $40. However, it's going to cost you $1, so $39 if you'd like to think about it like that. If you go to $25, okay, it's going to pay $50 for 1. Okay, you have to put in that commission. Oh, it would have a buy bet on it like that. You'd have to pay that commission, or a 5%. And so the reason why it's $1 for $20 or $1 for $25 is because you can't really round the 5% to be, you know, a little bit more than $1 or whatever. Actually, a lot of places you can go up to $35 and still only have to pay that $1 VIG or vigorish, or $1. They call it a VIG for short. So $1 VIG to place that, or to buy that bet. So 2 to 1 is better than 9 to 5. However, it doesn't make sense because it's so low. It doesn't make sense to do it at 10 or 15. But once you get to 20, a lot of tables will do what's called auto buy, or they'll automatically charge you the VIG for once you go to $20. It's definitely a better bet if you buy it, okay? Now, some places have where you could buy the 5 and 9, but I'm not going to go over that because that's very rare, and they don't really do that a lot, especially on a cruise ship. So let's go back to the $10. Now, let's talk about this. And let's talk about what happens when the 4 or the 10 hit. Do you want same bet? If you want same bet, we talked about it, putting in the $2. If you don't want the same bet, you can actually say buy it for a quarter, because it's going to pay $18. So if it pays $18 and you say buy it for a quarter, look at what's going to happen. They're going to take the $1 for VIG. They're going to make this $25. They're going to give you $2 change. So you might say, well, $10, right? And getting $2 in my rack, that means the 10 would have to hit again. But watch what happens. If the 10 hit and it went to 25 and it was a buy bet, and you had $2 back in your rack, then the 10 hit one more time before the 7, or while the puck is on, or your bets are on, then you're going to get paid $50 for 1, and you'll actually have $51 for your $10 bet. Now that is a good payout, but the 10 has to hit twice, and the 4 and the 10 only have 3 ways to make those out of 36 different combinations. So will it happen? You know, maybe, but you know, just like everything else, if a 7 rolls when the puck is on, all of this money loses. So So the idea is, did you bet $10 on a 4 or 10 just for $8 profit? Or did you want, like this, a $41 profit? I would bet $10 for a $41 profit rather than an $8 profit. Now you might say, Brian, what if we have the $10 and we get our $18, right? So you get your $18 and you say same bet. Then you know you have an $8 profit, at least on the 10. Then the next time it hits, you say buy it for a quarter. Now that's 2 times, and it could be, $41 profit, or that, because you'd have to hit it the 3rd time. So hitting it 3 times, 36 different combinations, the bad number, the number 7, there is 6 ways to make a 7. So obviously the 7 rolls more often than a 4 and 10. However, there's 6 ways to make a 7, right? Well, with the 4 and the 10, there's 3 ways and 3 ways. That's 6 ways as well. So when it comes to the 4 and 10, I would recommend always betting the 4 and the 10 together. So let's figure this out. If you bet the 4 and 10 together, that's a $20 investment. If one of them hit and you said same bet, you would get $18 back. If you get $18 back, then you would have a 4 and a 10 out there, and it would only cost you $2 for that $20 that's there. So that's a good way to think about it. And then, yeah, go ahead and press it. But I would say the next step for this, I wouldn't go to 15. I wouldn't go to 20. I would go from 10 to 25. That's the best way, and it makes it easier on the dealers as well. So a lot of these pressure, we call them pressure or pressing your bets, a lot of it is work on the dealer. And so instead of pressing by 1 unit or pressing by odd amounts, just try to make it as simple as possible for the dealers. You don't want the dealers to be confused with what you're doing. So going from 10 to 25 is a great bet, unless you're going to same bet, okay? Now, a lot of times people say go up by 1 unit. And that means if you had the 18 that they pay, and they're like, press it by 1 unit, they would take 5 and put it on, it would be 15, and then you would bring the $13 back to your rack. Well, that's fine, and you could do that, but again, then if it hits again, it's not going to pay. I mean, what does that pay? 26 or something, 27, 26. And so the thing about it is you don't really want to just say same bet all the time, but you also don't, in my opinion, you don't want to just press little by little. I mean, when you're going to press. Because when you think about it, right here we talked about 4 and 10, that's $20. But remember, you have $65 or $64 out here. You want to get $64 back as fast as possible. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to press, or what's called power press. So let's talk about that for a second. Power press, when I said take that to 25, that is a power press because you're going to the next level. So remember we talked about all of these right here that pay 14. So let's say they pay 14 and we have 10 there and we have 14. Did you know if you took this, press means double. Okay, so if the 9 hit and you said press, they'll take the $10 and they'll make it $20 and they'll give you the $4 change. Now a power press just means going to the next level. Now on a 5 and 9, because $10 pays 14, all you have to do is add $1 in and it will take it to 25. That's $25. $25 pays $35. So if you had that and say you paid $35, watch this, pays $35, now take it back down to 10. That's what's called regress. and then you're back down to 10, and you have $50 back if the 9 hits twice. I have $50 of my 64, so I have 64 across for only $14. I hope that makes sense, but the idea is to get your money back as fast as possible. So let's say the 9 hit and you threw this in. If you say same bet, remember, they're going to give you $15. But what you're doing is you're throwing that in and you're saying take it to 25. Then they would take it to 25. Now, let's say the 5 hit and you did the same thing. Take it to 25. So the 5 hit and they took that to 25. And now let's say the 6 hit. Okay, now this is a little bit different because remember, it pays 14, right? But you don't go to 25, you go to 30 on that one. So if you count this up, you have 25, 26. You actually need to throw in $4 to make it 30. So if a 6 or an 8 hit, 5 or 9, you'd throw in $1, but a 6 or 8, you would throw in $4 and say make it look like 30. However, let's talk about the third hit. Now remember when I showed you when we got the 9 to hit twice, we got a lot of our money back. But watch this, okay? So let's take this back and let's say the 5 hit, then the 9 hit, and now the 6 hit. Do I really need to throw in the $4 to take it to 30? Because watch what happens. I get paid 14, okay? Now let me break this down just so you could see it. I'm gonna break this down, okay? So that's 25 still, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bet, then I'm gonna say bring my 5 and 9 down to 10 each, and look at how much we have. We have 30, 40, $44. We have $44 and we have 64 out there. In 3 hits, you know, that's a good way to think about it. I'm just trying to get 3 hits of one of these numbers. Now, if one of them hits twice, that's great because I can have more. But 3 hits, you'd probably want to be down. You don't want to play these systems, in my opinion. I wouldn't play these systems where you need like 5 hits or 6 hits to get your money back. You want to get your money back as fast as possible and get your money back in 1 hit or 2 hits. I mean, it depends on how much you want to risk, okay? So for example, this is 64 across, okay? Now let's say we did, and we wanted to risk more money, but we wanted to risk it on 1 roll, okay? So let's say we did $110, okay? That's the 25, 25, 30, and 30. That's 110, and we're looking for 1 hit. If we get a 5, 6, 8, or 9 to hit, that's going to pay $35. So that pays $35, and then we say, give me the 5, 6, and 8 at minimum. So what would happen is we would take these down, we'd get this money back. Now this is our profit money. Then we would play with the profit money. So the way that would look, and I'll just break it down with some change right here. So, because this is 25, okay? The way that would look would be 5, 6, and 8, and you'd have $1 change. And that money, you're out of the hand after 1 hit, but we had to risk $110. Now, if you wanted to do the $64 across, you would probably have to do, if you wanted to get out in 1 hit, you'd probably have to do 220. $50 level, $220 inside. Each one of those pays $70. Then you can go 64 across after 1 hit. Now, you might say, Brian, that's a lot to risk on 1 roll. So a lot of times people try to do it in 2 rolls. You know, they try to get their money back in 2 rolls. So you know, that's something to think about, because if the 7 came, you'd lose $220 just like that. Every roll, there is a 6 out of 36 chance that there's 6 combinations that can take all of your money if you're just playing out here. The final thing that I want to talk about on this video, the 2 hits and out. We're going to do a simple 2 hit and out. And what we're going to do is we're going to do $66 inside here. So this is at the $15 level, and this works on a $10 table, okay? So because we're going to regress or go back down right here on the inside, we're going to do 44 inside. We're going to have 66 inside. And if one of those hit, it pays $21. If one of those hits and it pays $21, we're going to throw in $1 and we're going to say, give me 22 inside pressure. What they'll do is they'll take this and they'll give you 22 inside pressure. Then it'll be 20, 24, 24, and 20. And that would pay $28. So let's say that pays $28. So that pays 28, right? And then we say, take me to 44 inside. Well, look at how much we have. We have 25, 35, 45, right? We threw in $1, so let's not count that one. And we have $45, $49. $49 would be our profit that we won, but then we're going to go 44 inside, right? So we're going to take these down, right? And remember, because we'll have 44 here, right? And we had 49, then we actually won money. So we have $44 inside, and this money, you know, the 66, we have it right here, plus a little bit more. So there's the 66 inside, okay? And we have $1 in our hand ready to go, and a 5 hits. The 5 hits, and we throw in $1 and we say 22 inside pressure. 22 inside pressure, then they would put this together just like this. And now the next roll happens. Let's say a 9 hits. The 9 hits, and we say, they go to pay us, we say, same bet, take me down to 44 inside. We get paid like this. Now watch, this is the easiest way to do it, especially if the dealers aren't sure. What you would do, instead of saying take me down to 44 inside, what you can say is take my 5 and 6 down, and then they would go like this, and then you can say split my 8 and 6 and 9 and 5. And then it's pretty much the split of 44 inside. Makes it really easy. But you have all of your money out of the hand in 2 hits. Now the other way you could do it, you can, instead of pressing 22 inside pressure, you could get a 4 and 10, you know, and for $10 each, bring the $1 back to your rack. And then if it hits again, no matter what, any one of these hit again, then you go to 44 inside. The idea is to get out of the hand as fast as possible. I hope this video helps. Subscribe if you haven't, and make sure to watch this video if you want to see more. And I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.